Hello, my beautiful lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. This is Choi Leaves Tarot, where we get to your greatness one tea leaf at a time. Wow, so many things are popping out. So let's get straight to the point, all right? Hit that like button, hit that follow if you're new here. Welcome to the tribe. This is a special warning download for you specifically. This is timeless. Take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, all signs. All right, so this is the solar total lunar eclipse coming in September 7th, 2025 and after. So what is the vibe coming in for you? What do you need to know coming into it? And boom, wow, interesting. This is so funny because it says the Fool card, good friends, happiness, needing to take a giant leap forward. So away from the Fool's gold. Look at that. It says all that glitters is not gold. Look beyond the clouds. So you see all these are like kind of varnished, good. They look kind of real, but they're not. It's just like an illusion. It says, look beyond the clouds, money improvements. So money is going to change for you. You're going to get the real gold. But first, you need to look at the gold within, and you need to be like not foolish with your money and foolish with the people you're around, but you do need to be like creative and joyous and hopeful enough to take a giant leap forward with what you have. Don't fall for basically on social media or whether it's political propaganda or whatever, do not fall for it, okay? Whether you're left, right, center, whatever, look at the things that you align with. Look at the actions matching the words, who's funding people. These are just literally like you're not falling for the okie doke where people look happy on paper, but they're not living the same way, the right way that you want, right? So look at this, Three of Cups, celebration, bright happenings coming to you because you're waiting, you're patient, but you're working on yourself. You're building your own community. You're building your own garden. You are like, you know what? I don't care that there's somebody who's a billionaire and has X, Y, and Z in their garden and they think they're acting right and they look happy or they're not or whatever. You're looking at the highlight reels no longer. That's fool's gold. You're not falling for the okie doke. You're definitely taking your sovereignty and independence back. So this new solar eclipse, this is the blood moon, means you're genuinely taking care of home, yourself. You're like, it's in my blood to be genuinely happy and optimistic for people. And for myself, for the first time, you're going to act on it for yourself. You're going to be a little greedy, and that's good for yourself, right? Because maybe you've been too much of like a kind of like a bleeding heart, you've been thinking about other people too much and XYZ, and you forgot you, the star player, and you were acting like an NPC in other people's like lives, right? Like if you're in a little game world, whatever, think of Sims, you're like letting other people control your narrative or your history or what you know, and you're falling for the okie doke. Who funded these textbooks? Who, wherever country you are, like who's doing what? And what are you being propagandized about or not? And take a leap of faith on yourself, your business, your friendships, and literally have more kind of like this total lunar eclipse on the September 7th is going to show you, and honestly, whenever you see this, plus 30 days, okay? So this is timeless, but September 7th, 2025, especially the blood moon, look outside. It's nice and red. It's like new beginnings. Look at this, Page of Cups, young woman to 25 years, basic good news coming in for you, and maybe a King of Pentacles, someone who is on your level, a true soulmate. And this could also be you, whether you're a girl or a guy. It's like the fact that you have your money together. You are confident for once. And you're like, I've always been self-confident, self-motivated, maybe not as independent because I was like, well, we're a collective and I'm doing this for the legacy and XYZ. But for the first time, you're like, you know what? Why are some people called experts and some not? And I actually live my truth. I see what's going on. I'm very zen. Maybe I should take my own advice sometimes. That's what it's giving. So King of Pentacles, man over 25 years, dark eyes and dark hair. If you don't look like that or the person doesn't look like that, you're just business, arrogance, powerful. You're tapping into your own power. And it's not just like money is power. Health is wealth. Knowledge is power. So maybe you're learning that like, oh, I can't buy apples from the things that use appeal. Or regenerative farming, you know, that is better than glyphosate and everything. And you're like, you know what? That's a step forward that maybe the average collective doesn't know about yet. So maybe my purpose is to like take care of and garden my own soul, my own health. And then from there, like teach people about like, you know, prevention versus also health and wealth. Because you believe in science, you believe in actual technology, but you do read who funded what projects, XYZ, and you do like a full thing. Like you'll read the NIH articles, but you'll also read who funded what country is it from, what's their background, who's the person that wrote this, who funded them, like what is their intention, is this like propaganda or is it real? You're really just doing full broad spectrum research, right? So because a lot of things are about to be debunked in a lot of ways. For example, there was this I believe it was like, you have to look into it. I think Alzheimer research, there was a guy who came from another country and then started getting all the billions of dollars while he was in California and became like the father of Alzheimer's. But he had so much copy and paste. I think it was like the Western blot or like some type of statistical information was wrong and he just copy pasted it. And that was the foundation. So it's like some people are looking back at them sideways and being like, what is scientific fraud? What are these paper mills? What are the different parts of the world teaching their people, whether it's local? We could take the goods, but we could also understand there's bads. There's always phonies in every culture, every country, every whatever. So it's like you're finding the best of all worlds. So maybe you're really getting into the secrets. Who's got secrets? Who's hiding things? Who's making money off of this pain and misery, right? And so it says strength, inner strength, confrontation with yourself or other people. It seems like this one is a inward facing moon, right? So this is like what you're paying attention to is your own inner strength, your Ouroboros. You see that 8? It's like longevity and you're working on health, mind, body, and soul, and your independence and sovereignty. First Amendment rights will come out. And also like you're learning that fear is how government controls, whether it's all sides. They're all kind of like a uniparty going on, and people are standing up and waking up little by little, and you will be at the right place. The deception will not get to you anymore. You will always like peel back the layers and do journalism basically in your own way. You're doing your research. You got your magnifying glass out, whether it's like scanning with your Yuka app to see if the food or whatever has toxins in it, heavy metals, where's it from? Because different countries or different states have different farming practices that can make you sick or not. So what you're doing is just doing your own research. And you're like, I always let other people do the research for me, and I took it as, you know, maybe they were being honest, but really a lot of people are missing the backstory. The backstory is important, okay? Who they're married to is important, who they're whatever. You need to find it all out, and that's how you learn what companies you want to stay with, boycott. Like, are they for you? Are they against you? Are they like, are they part of like the technocrats who want to make everything non-human and let our overlords be robots and AI, right? And have data plants everywhere so that, you know, your bills go up and the water just goes to, the drinking water goes to cooling off data centers, which are just, you know, data centers. One person works there. Like, that's not really pro-humanity. It's kind of pro-brutalist culture, right? So it's like a very dry, boring, not artsy. So if you're an artist, draw, paint, sculptures, be as creative as you want. Stop being so like, don't fall into the blandness of it all. And I'm not talking about, you know, oh, don't wear cream or beige. That's not what I'm talking about. That even is a personality compared to what other people are doing. Be an artist, be multifaceted, because this says the moon card, deception or delays, emotions up or down, maybe deceiving yourself emotionally or others. Yeah, they might be trying to deceive and it doesn't work anymore. So you're not lying to yourself about everyone's such a nice person like how you are. No, they're not. You really are. You're kind of waking up from that delusion. And you already knew, but now it's like universe is giving you a heads up that no, like really only support things that are like, for example, let's say you've been looking for a job for a while, you know friends who've been looking for jobs and you live, let's say, in America. Okay, so now you're seeing, okay, the jobs, whether it's blue collar, white collar, pink collar, whatever, like high tech, entry level, agricultural, everything is just not like hiring, but you know, downsizing. There's a lot of people hiring and firing, and they're calling it for AI. Oh, we can outsource it, it's cheaper labor. And you're like, that doesn't really build a society. What's really going on here? That's weird. Do you want to make us desperate to come back to offices, work balance, lose our rights? What is it? So now you're like, you know what, I'm just not going to fund those companies who don't hire me or would not hire you. So if they wouldn't hire you and they haven't, and you know this, or you've like looked and tried it out and you've seen it, then just know they don't deserve your dollars. The very little that you do get, or the lot of it that you get. You're just like, if you make your own business, put business into small and local governments, or not governments, just citizens. Like, go to a farmer's market, go to regenerative farms, go find your local neighbor who has like I don't know, rosemary, right? Like they have a rosemary garden, and trade that you maybe have thyme in your garden, or some tea leaves, whatever. Queen of Cups, you're going to be abundant. So your abundance is coming from being creative. Like, wow, what can I give myself to have like a good trading system, bartering? So if all else fails, I know that my seasoning is not irradiated, which is like, you know, they zap it with lasers, or like it just becomes gamma radiation or whatever. It's bad. But they do that to all our seasonings, especially the imported, whether it's like, just look up, just Google, or like not even Google. Google's owned by a brand that funds wars and genocides too. So really, it's a lot of things going on, but you could still search on different backdrops, on different like search engines, wherever you want, and look up irradiation of spices. So that little thing, you might be like, wow, let me just grind my own thing. Let me go make some black pepper myself. Let me go make some seasoning myself in my garden, or, you know, something like small. And this says, Queen of Cups, your abundant princess energy. You're really not waiting for other people to tell you what's good or bad, or wrong or right. You're like, or healthy or not, for your mind, body, or soul. You're just supporting, and just like stop giving your money to things that aren't that. Support small businesses, or people who aren't using maybe AI or AI art or whatever. Things like, you're intentionally kind of maneuvering in the interwebs at this point, because you are actually manifesting the algorithm you want, because you're like, I'm not playing in the confines of what they want you to say that chills speech or not. You are setting your own rules for once, and this is all because you have a lot of gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Yep, because money is about to start coming in for you. And opportunities are as well. Opportunities for joy, for falling in love, for making your own community, like meeting like-minded people who have the same hobbies as you, joining a book club, pottery classes, whatever. Maybe you love knitting, maybe you love patchwork and quilt work. You're going to meet people who are just as zen, calm, loving as you, but like you're also like learning different hobbies with them. You're no longer just meeting up to meet up. You're not just going out to eat just to eat. You're exploring. You're a explorer. You're grateful. You have a lot. You're thankful for opportunities to meet people, to take time for yourself. Depending on what's happening, you're always thankful. And you're like, this is just, I'm thankful. I now know what to boycott or not, for example. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. There you go. You're no longer judging yourself for being slower, richer, poorer, whatever. You're really tapping into like your core purpose of like making the world a better place, or inspiring someone who will, right? So you're not like doing the defeatist, nihilist, like whatever attitude. This blood moon is going to make the people who are leeches more obvious to you, and the people who are growth minded, even more obvious to you. People who are like, there's enough for everybody, but we need to focus on ourselves. Versus the people who are like, yeah, there's enough for everyone, but we're going to give it all away to everybody else and forget you. No, that's why there's like somewhere in between. That's where you need to be, okay? And then let's also get your, not your tea leaf message. Ooh, this one popped out. Starter wife problem? Run, girl. This is also interesting. Or a guy, if you're trying to look at women as resources to use and throw away, no. That is the wrong mentality. Stay away from guys who say this around you, or who, if you see you dating, they're jealous. So they're like, that's the starter wife. Your next wife is going to be better. That's weird energy. That's like defeatist, giving up on stuff attitude. Just be single, right? And then the starter wife problem, you also, if you're the girl, if you're the woman, you're like, no. I'm not going to be with a person who has said type of problems. There's people who genuinely want a true union, like that king we got. Ooh, that's a confirmation. Because there's somebody in your life right now that is kind of shifty. Maybe in my last readings you could see like which one resonated the most. But there are some that are kind of being weird, sus. They're hiding things. Remember, we got the moon deception. You're going to see who's, maybe they're more like a leech. And then wow, you got sleep, fun time, valerian mix with lavender and verbena. It's that purple, calming, celestial type of vibe. You are getting beauty sleep without that person bothering you, that mentality. That you're building your independence, whether it's by building your finances, building your literacy, kind of like literacy of propaganda versus not, or how to make amazing legal money and XYZ, and like just expanding your wins in life so that you don't fall for the okie doke when a guy tries to sell you a dream, right? You're like, nah, my dreams are good. I'm living my reality. I'm grateful for what I have. So I'm not just going to fall for you that and get tricked only to be used and thrown away. Starter wife problem. No. You're like, if I do marry, and marrying up in terms of character, you have amazing lifestyle, you are a kind soul, and if all else fails, I have my own, and I'm not gonna let, like you're very financially stable in that sense, or you're working toward it before you even jump into a relationship. So that's what this blood moon is giving. Until next time, hit that like button. I'll see you later. Bye.